When we talk about keeping the flame alive after 50, we cannot ignore the reality of change. The body changes. The mind changes. The heart changes. And yet, within these changes lie opportunities to deepen intimacy, to discover new dimensions of love, and to build a connection that goes beyond the superficial spark of youth. Let's begin with the body. For men, one of the most significant changes is the gradual decline of testosterone. It doesn't happen overnight, it's subtle, almost invisible at first. Energy feels lower, the muscles don't respond as quickly, and recovery after exercise takes longer. For many men, this also means changes in sexual performance. Erections may not be as strong or as frequent as before. Some men feel embarrassed, thinking they are less of a man, less attractive to their partner. But here's the truth: these changes are normal. They do not diminish masculinity. They do not erase love. What they call for is adaptation, new ways of connecting, new rhythms of intimacy, new conversations about what love means beyond performance. For women, the transition of menopause brings its own challenges. Estrogen and progesterone decline, leading to hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, and sometimes difficulty sleeping. Vaginal dryness can make intimacy uncomfortable. Libido may decrease, and with it, confidence in being desirable. Many women feel a quiet grief at this stage, as if they are leaving behind a part of themselves. But again, this is not an ending. It is a transformation. With proper medical care, lifestyle changes, and open communication, women can continue to experience passion, pleasure, and deep connection. But beyond the physical, there are emotional changes that come with age. By the time we reach 50, we've lived through decades of experiences, careers, children, responsibilities, perhaps even loss. These experiences shape the way we see ourselves and our partners. Some couples feel a sense of freedom. Children have left home, careers are stable, and there is finally time to focus on each other. Others feel a sense of emptiness, loneliness, or even fear of the future. The way we respond to these emotions determines whether love grows stronger or weaker. Let's pause here for a story. Mark and Susan were both in their early 50s. Mark had recently retired, full of energy, ready to travel and explore. Susan, however, was in the middle of menopause, struggling with fatigue, hot flashes, and anxiety about her body image. Their desires didn't match. Mark wanted adventure, Susan wanted rest. Tension grew. They argued, withdrew, and felt more distant than ever. But one evening, instead of fighting, Mark asked Susan to share what she was really feeling. For the first time in months, she admitted her fears, that she no longer felt beautiful, that she worried he would stop desiring her, that her body was betraying her. Mark listened. He didn't interrupt, didn't try to fix it. He simply held her hand and said, "You are still the most beautiful woman I've ever known. We will walk through this together." That moment changed everything. They began to seek medical advice, tried new ways of being intimate, and most importantly, they faced the changes as a team. Today, they say their love is stronger than in their 20s, not because the challenges disappeared, but because they chose to face them together. This brings us to the heart of the matter. Love after 50 is not about avoiding change, it is about embracing it. The body will age. Hormones will shift. Energy levels will fluctuate. But the flame of love is not tied only to the body, it is tied to intention, to presence, to the willingness to adapt. Think of a river. Over time, the course of the river may change. Rocks appear, currents shift. But as long as the water keeps flowing, the river remains alive. In the same way, as long as love keeps flowing, through touch, through words, through presence, the relationship remains alive. From a scientific perspective, these changes are well documented. Studies from Harvard Medical School show that physical intimacy in older adults is strongly correlated with emotional well-being, reduced depression, and even improved cardiovascular health. In other words, love is not only an emotional bond, it is a health strategy. Couples who stay connected physically and emotionally live longer, healthier lives. That's powerful motivation to keep investing in love, even when the body changes. But how do we adapt in practical terms? First, communication is key. Talk openly about what feels good, what feels different, and what feels challenging. This is not a time for silence or shame. If sex is uncomfortable, say so. If energy feels low, express it. If desire changes, explore new ways of intimacy. Love is not limited to intercourse, it is expressed in massages, cuddling, hand-holding, dancing slowly in the living room. These acts of closeness are just as powerful, sometimes more so, because they remind both partners that connection is not about performance, it's about presence. Second, seek medical guidance when needed. There is no shame in asking for help. For men, treatments exist for erectile difficulties. For women, therapies are available for dryness or hormonal imbalance. Doctors, counselors, and therapists are allies, not judges. Too many couples suffer in silence, believing nothing can be done, when in reality, solutions are available. The courage to ask is the first step toward healing. Third, embrace lifestyle changes that support love. Nutrition, exercise, and sleep are not just for physical health, they directly impact emotional and sexual intimacy. A body that feels strong, nourished, and rested is more open to closeness. Couples who walk together, cook healthy meals together, and establish consistent sleep routines often report improved intimacy. Love is built not only in the bedroom, but in the kitchen, on the walking path, and in the quiet moments before sleep. Let's take another moment for reflection. Close your eyes and think of one way your body has changed in the last decade. Now think of one way your partner's body has changed. Instead of focusing on loss, focus on gratitude. Perhaps your partner has wrinkles. Those wrinkles are a map of every laugh, every tear, every moment shared. Perhaps energy has slowed, yet that pace allows for deeper conversations, longer embraces, quieter moments. Gratitude transforms perception. When we see aging not as decline, but as proof of a life lived together, love becomes richer. And finally, let's talk about the mind. With age comes wisdom, but also vulnerability. Some people face cognitive decline, forgetfulness, or anxiety about the future. These challenges can feel frightening, both for the individual and the partner. But love has the power to provide safety. Simply sitting together, reminiscing about the past, telling stories, and keeping the mind active through shared learning can protect both memory and connection. Couples who continue to learn together, whether it's a new hobby, language, or skill, strengthen not only their brains but their bond. So here's a practical exercise for you and your partner tonight. Before bed, take 5 minutes to share one physical change you've noticed in yourself and one emotional change. Be honest, be vulnerable. Then share one thing you still find beautiful or attractive in your partner. Watch what happens. Vulnerability invites connection. Compliments ignite warmth. And when both are present, the flame of love burns stronger. As we close this chapter, remember this. The body, the mind, and the heart all change with age. But change does not mean loss. Change means growth. Love after 50 is not about clinging desperately to what once was, it is about embracing what is, and discovering the beauty hidden in transformation. The body may slow, the mind may wander, but the heart, when nurtured, can love more deeply, more tenderly, more truly than ever before. This is the secret. Aging does not diminish love. It refines it. And as we continue this journey together, we will see how couples not only survive these changes, but thrive in them, creating love stories that inspire the world. Because keeping the flame alive after 50 is not about fighting against time, it's about learning to dance with it.